Hi, my name's Tony Barker. I am a civility enthusiast. I'm also a musician. Just mention that in case you Google me and you see a guitar in my hand, don't be confused. Today is the introduction to the Civility Plan. I call it that because there is in fact a plan. It's not just somebody saying we should be nice to each other because your Sunday school teacher or your rabbi or your kindergarten teacher said nice is better. I'm actually seeking a large number of people that will help lead this as a cultural sort of solution to the way things are headed now, which is not cool. It is not going anywhere we want to be. And there are a lot of people that are going to help us try to come out of this. And if we can all help doing what we can from the kitchen table to Congress, and I'll get to that in just a second, then I feel like it's possible. There are a lot of intelligent, faith-based people telling me I'm just a moron tilting at the wrong windmill, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to keep going anyway, and I hope you do too. There's a lot of reasons why it will work. But here's the essence of the Civility Plan. It is not, I will repeat for verification, not some partisan thing where our guys are smart and their guys are dumb and only our way will work. That is not the way we're trying to do anything. My perspective comes from an imagination of the America that I would love being around in 2050 and looking backwards on this time that we're going through and say, you know, it was bad, but we made it. Because other than that, we're going to have to say that's where everything fell apart. So let's go in the we made it direction, please. That's the basis of the Civility Plan. And again, the plan part of it is that there are things we can do, and there are allies of civility on this journey that we're on. From the Problem Solvers Caucus in Congress, which are Republicans and Democrats that have pledged to work together when possible. When the basic Republican or Democrat ideology doesn't get in the way of it, they have pledged to vote together and work together and speak together about things to get some work done. And that's the essence of all of this civility effort. We have to talk to each other like adults to get some work done. My thesis is that this is the greatest crisis that the United States has ever faced, because solving this crisis will allow us to solve all the other crises. No issue that we face now currently, not healthcare, not immigration, not the economy, none of those are too big for the United States to handle if we handle it like adults. Currently, we seem to be running the greatest nation in the history of humanity the way toddlers run a sandbox, and that's just bad news for everybody. And there are some big issues coming. Water, AI, there's a lot of big things coming that require our thinking brains, our adult brains to happen. So from the kitchen table to Congress, there are ways to help. There are resources we can do. Part of it is just taking a breath and step back and understand that not everybody is so steeped in this anger that the news and social media makes it look like. Proof of that is that we recently hosted the FIFA World Soccer Cup and made a pretty good impression on the rest of the world. They came here and said, wow, it's not all crazy people beating each other up on the website. It's pretty cool stuff going on. And we can do that. We already do it every year. People of my faith, around December of every year, you'll notice a lot more doors get held for strangers, and maybe people let each other in and traffic. And I just don't see a reason why that has to stop on December 26th. There's a lot of things that we can do to transform our brains, and we're going to go into that. This is just the introduction to the Civility Plan. Here we are in August of 2026, and I'm about to unveil all this stuff. I started working on it in 2019. Haven't been able to close the door on the end product. So here we are discussing a path forward so that we can continually check in with one another. So I would love it if you'd sign up for the newsletter or any of those things. But in the meantime, here's something we can do right now today that can help. And that is this: just add some civility and kindness to the world. And here's the science behind that. If you're very thirsty, think about the last time you were very thirsty, not just I'd like a water, but very thirsty, and somebody hands you water. You get a massive dopamine hit. This is brain chemistry. You get this chemistry going on in your head that it really something significant and good just happened. And that person that shared that water with you also has that massive dopamine hit. So that's two people with one glass of water getting positive reinforcement for decent activity. Here's the cool science. Anybody that watches that exchange also experiences that positive energy. And this is neurochemistry. This is not hippie speak. This is neurology. And it's valid and it's real, and it can make a difference in the overall energy. Every time good happens instead of bad, people notice, and we can do that. If we make it large, we can affect change. There are some other ways to affect change if you feel a little more ambitious than that, but it might start with just taking a step back from that angry response you want to give to somebody. Just take a few breaths and then respond intelligently. Nobody's changing minds about issues, but we're not adding to the nasty ick. That's the entire objective so far. So far will work. Bail when you want to bail, or I'll pass along a bunch of resources that you can dive deeper into them if you want to. You can write letters to your congressman. You can sign up for newsletters. There's way more than just mine, which is just starting out. I'll send all of those to you, or you can find them. Just Google them. Intentionally Google more civility. You'll run into Glenn Dromgoole's website. We're going to do a presentation together very soon. He was a former editor of the Abilene Reporter News and an all-around incredible human being. Find something good to look at on the internet. Dogs, cats, kittens, cute stuff. Add it to your regular diet, and then the algorithm, we all hear about the algorithm, you'll be training it to bring you things that are better and not worse. Better and not worse. That sounds like a great example of civility. I hope you join me.